What's up everyone? My name's Cody. I'm here with RVing Canada and I'm going to give you some insight on how you can safely plan a trip during the cold winter months. So planning your route is where you're going to want to start. Doing this will effectively allow you to plan out the rest of the trip and everything else you're going to need, because RVing will change drastically from the warmer to the colder months. Winter RVing is very much possible, as long as you're well prepared and you have your plan set in place. So when you're planning your route, there's a couple things you're going to want to take note of to not only ensure the safety of yourself, but the RV as well. Gas stations, grocery stores, campsites, and the hookups that they have available, distances to your stops, weather, and hotels. Now the most important things out of all of this are going to be the gas stations, the campsites, and the distances to your stops. Gas stations are arguably one of the most important things you're going to want to plan out, not only to gas yourself up and keep yourself on the road, but make sure you find a place that will refill your propane. A little tip from the locals, in these severe, harsh winter conditions, you're never going to want to pass a gas station. Propane is definitely one of the most important things when you're going to be doing winter RVing, because it'll allow you to constantly run heat throughout the RV and make sure that the RV is safe and you're staying warm. But more importantly, it's going to prevent damage to the RV that can be caused from freezing. The next thing you're going to want to find are campsites. These are super important regardless of if they have hookups, just so you have a place that you can safely park and legally park. Planning out your route to campsites that have hookups is certainly nice, but it's not always necessary. If you run into any trouble, you can always run the generator, but having those hookups will certainly save you money and it'll also give you some peace of mind. And the last thing I want to touch on that's super important when you're planning your route is planning those distances between your stops. The more remote you get, the more cautious you should be about those distances so that you don't run out of gas. Because if the gas tank does go below a quarter, you will run into issues running the propane, which will in effect have issues heating the RV. So as I mentioned, planning your route is definitely the most important thing, because then you can accurately figure out the next step, which is the equipment you'll need to bring. First things first, when it comes to equipment, most important thing is definitely an RV, but you're gonna need a winterized RV, like this one that we got through RVing Canada. Put simply, a winterized RV is just your typical RV, but it's outfitted to ensure that you can safely do this during the cold winter days. This means chains for your tires to ensure safe travel over icy and snowy roads, an interior fitted with window coverings to allow you to keep in as much heat as possible, and most importantly, heating pads for the holding tanks and insulated pipes so that you can avoid the most common problem, which is your pipes freezing and bursting. For more info on how they winterize all these units, as well as where you can check one out for yourself, just head to RVing Canada's website. With the main equipment sorted, being the winterized RV, the next thing you're going to want to look at is the personal equipment that you're going to want to bring with you so that you're as comfortable as possible, and you also have some safety backups as well. As for personal things, you're going to want to make sure that you bring warm clothes, warm outdoor clothing, food, sleeping bags, extra blankets. Now some really important smaller things that you're going to want to bring with you are space heaters, extra propane, extra gas, backups for electricity, like small portable chargers all the way up to big generators, some extra plumbing antifreeze to make sure you avoid any freezing issues with the RV, and a satellite phone should you find yourself without any cell coverage. Also, in the event that your RV does break down or have any issues, it's great to take note of any hotels in the area just as a last resort and a backup plan. And finally, no adventure is complete without a great group of friends. It saves money, it takes stress out of the long days of driving when you have multiple people that can do the drive with you, and most importantly, it will allow for you to have the best time possible. So in conclusion, make sure you plan ahead, plan your route, make sure you've got all your equipment sorted, and anything you need for safety and a backup plan, just in case anything goes wrong with the RV. And remember, although the days get colder and travel gets a little bit tougher, you can still go RVing in the wintertime.